Hello everyone, welcome back to another Mellow Monday. Doing some more mini painting this week, and yeah, figured I'd start out by showing off, finished up Hello last week. Didn't really do much from the previous stream with her, aside from, did a few touch-ups where paint was coming off before doing the clear coat, but overall, I think she came out pretty good. Especially the cape. Like, the cape came out really nice as far as, like, the shading goes, and I feel like that came out really nice, so pretty happy overall with how Hella turned out here. But yeah, so that is where we had left off last time, and yeah, this time around we are going to be working on, let me get Hella out of the way at the moment, going to be working on Miles Morales Spider-Man. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Ever since the Into the Spider-Verse movie came out, it was just like, oh my god. Film was fantastic. Made me go through and read the Miles Morales stuff that they, like when he first got introduced in the comics, and I am very happy that they decided to go a different path with the movie instead. I felt it ended up being a much better film than if it had tried to be as accurate as possible to the comic. So, yeah, I'm going to be working on Miles today. For paints this time around, we're going to be using a few different ones this time around. So, with this one, I'm going for a rubber black, which is the... Hang on, I'm going to back the camera up just so that we get a little bit broader of a view while I'm doing the base coat stuff. So we're going to be using the rubber black XF85 Tamiya. That'll be the base of the costume in general. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put the reference picture up while we work on this, so hang on. There we go. So yeah, we're going to be using the XF85 for the base of the suit. For the red parts, we're just going to use standard X7 red. We'll do a little bit of mixing when we need to, but I think the shade of red that is this will work super well for all the red accents on the costume. Much the same. Going to be using X2 whites for the eyes. There's not much that really needs to get done with the eyes. I actually want them to be glossy, so that works out well. For mixing stuff, we're going to be using flat black for darkening stuff up when we do some of the shading on it. For lightening up the rubber black, though, we're actually going to go with a flat blue XF8 to try to give it a little bit of color, because, like, especially if you look at a lot of pictures of Miles Morales, like, you get a little bit more of a blue shading out of, or a blue highlight out of the lit areas of the suit. So I feel like if we lighten up the rubber black with a flat blue, that's gonna really help pop out the highlights a little bit better on it. So yeah, that's what we're looking at for this one. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. Hope everyone's been doing well. It was a really fun time last week. Yeah, looking forward to having some more chats today. You know what I need to do first? What I thought was very prepared for this. I forgot to grab my my toothpicks for doing my mixing, so I will be right back. I'm so sorry. There we go. So very sorry about that, everyone. But yeah, got some... Sorry, on a rolly chair this time, and it's kind of just rolling all over the place when I'm trying to get lined up. So, got some toothpicks for doing my mixing. Super helpful, particularly because these paints don't have spouts. I feel like that probably comes down to it certainly seems like Tamiya intends these to be more airbrush paints, but I think they work really well for doing just regular brushwork. Alright, so we're going to need quite a bit of this rubber black color. So let's go ahead and drop a lot of it in the tray. And please let me know if my sound needs adjusting at all. I tried to do some adjusting before the stream started, listening in on some recordings. Everything seemed to come out pretty good on the levels, but always appreciate when people let me know. Alright, that should be good enough on the paints. And then we just let's just add in a drop of water and give it a mix and see how that comes out. Might need to add a little bit more. We did add quite a bit of paint in here, so it's maybe a tad too sticky, but we'll see. Also going with a different setup for my overall setup that unfortunately you can't see from where you guys are at, but I blew up the chat to put it on my TV because I'm out in the living room for this, and I feel like having the chat up on the TV will make it so I can actually see the stuff better. Because trying to catch it on the computer screen has always been a little rough, because the computer is not close to me for this. So, all right, let's give this a shot and see how this goes. Wow, this is already feeling a little too dry. Here we go. There we go. That's working better. So we're going to give this... Ooh, that might be a tad too wet. Let's see if we can find a happy medium on this. There we go. Yeah, we're not going to go super duper detailed yet because we just want to get a nice base coat down for all of this. But yeah, I hope everyone's been doing well. I'm sure at some point in time I will start gushing about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse because god dang do I love that movie. But yeah, much in keeping with previous streams, an update on where I am at on watching the MCU stuff. So, still in Season 5 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's been okay. It's getting a little bit better. They finally brought Fitz into the fold. which has been an interesting time. And it's been an okay season so far. Like, it's certainly not my favorite. My favorite's still season 1. But it's been a fun season so far. It's at least trying to do something vastly different with itself, which has been appreciated. And so far the characters feel more like characters kind of thing. I don't know if I'm relaying my feelings correctly for that, but with the 4th season, in particular the villain of the 4th season, Ada, just didn't quite work out in the end for me, as far as she felt very off and misused by the end of the season. So that was kind of a downer. Yeah, it's been interesting so far with the Kree villains that they have for this season. You know, they still don't feel super deep so far, but I'm hoping things will at least improve on that front. It's still early, so I feel like it's probably going to at least change a bit. But yeah, so been watching that. Was also watching season 1 of Runaways at the same time, because they were airing at the same time on TV. They were alternating between Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5 and Runaways Season 1. Because that was... Runaways was on Hulu, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was on ABC, so... But, for all of my reaction to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. being, it's alright, in contrast, Runaways has been fantastic. I finished up the first season of it. I want to watch more of it. They've got 2 more seasons, from what I've seen. So that'll be fun. I'm hoping that the seasons after 1 will also be excellent. That being said, I am always prepared for disappointment when it comes to the second season of anything, because it's really hard to capture that first season hype sometimes. So we'll see. We'll see if it proves me wrong. I hope so. I love the characters in Runaways. And I really need to go back. Hey, Libra, how's it going? Yeah, I saw your tweets. I am super excited for a Gravity Rush movie as well. Hopefully they do a good job with it. It's always one of those things where I worry that they're just gonna push something out there that they will not do the material justice. I hope it's animated too. It's one of those things where they could do it live action, but I feel like it lives better in the animation style that it has. Sounds good. GR3 could come out? Maybe. It'll be interesting to see if stuff comes out of having a movie. You never know. We'll keep our fingers crossed for it. Maybe. You know what? Trying to get right inside there. A little rough. There we go. But yeah, I am cautiously optimistic. Video game movies seem to be doing a little bit better nowadays, so maybe this will be a decent one. Well, I say animated, or the video game movies have been better. I haven't seen Uncharted, so I could be wrong on that, but got way more reception than I thought on their tweet. I think GR is more game that you played like 6 years ago and vaguely remember. Yeah, I'm wondering if there are just many fans that didn't get the game when it originally came out kind of thing. Or just seeing the art style for once, and going, oh, wow, that looks really nice. So, who knows? Maybe it'll actually work out really well this time. It'd be nice, because that game, I feel like, deserves a lot more, a lot better than I got, you know? I think most of the fan base are either people who played Vita or people like me who found it during 1 month trial of PS Now when it was around. Yeah, it could be. Ooh, I am seeing the chat on the stream, and that is looking kind of tiny. Let me see if I can fix that a little bit and have it show up better in the chat box. There. I don't know if that looks a little bit better on stream. It might. There. I think that looks a little bit better on stream, hopefully. One of the horrors of maintaining two different profiles is that I am constantly juggling between two systems as far as all the settings. I've been very non-productive today, so I took my day off of work. I decided to wake up at 5 hours of sleep for whatever reason. Actually woke up at 8 a.m. for God knows what reason. Yeah. That stuff happens sometimes. I hope you ended up getting a decent amount of sleep today, because that's important. But days off are super useful, though. I'm glad you still getting those in. I'm not used to the morning. The sun should be setting by now. Yeah, on the other hand, for me, I'm definitely a morning person, so having gotten used to just getting up brutally early in the morning, if I changed my schedule, I'd be very off. I don't know how much I'd get used to that. Although that is reminding me of my first job. I love mornings, but hate sleeping early to get to morning app. Yeah, with, oop, sorry, my dog was coughing a little bit, getting a hairball. Yeah, with my first job, at one point in time, they wanted me to do a split shift because they were getting super busy on third shift. Oop, you okay? There we go. I don't know if her coughing is picking up on the mic, but yeah, so with my first job, they wanted me to do a split shift at one point, so it was like I was working first shift, but they needed some help on third shift as well, but they still wanted me on first shift, so like, all right, well, how about you do 11 to 4 and then 11 to 4 and do that as a schedule. And let me tell you, that was a bad idea. I lasted about a week on that, and I was barely functional during that. Hate shift changes, like, bro, hire someone else. You're short staffing my shift just to unshort staff another. Yeah. My first job was a terrible job, so it's not a big surprise. I used to work in a corporate call center for my first job. So basically we handled a bunch of different accounts, but essentially companies would hire us out to do like their order lines for catalogs and stuff like that. So they would still, their customer service number still went to the main company, but any of the order line calls went to us, kind of thing. Guess it's management's way to make it feel like they're needed. Yup, correct. Very, very correct. Yeah, it's... My first job was just a terribly mismanaged company, and they were quite bad on making sure that the employees were well taken care of. In many ways, there was some like borderline illegal stuff going on. Well, actually, there was one legit illegal thing that happened when I was there. But we were also just beaten down that we didn't do anything about it. So with my first job, I was, you know, just doing standard phone call stuff. Didn't really know what I was getting for a phone call until, or I didn't really know what I was getting for an account until the call came in, because then illegal things in a company unheard of. Yeah, exactly. So with the call center, we didn't really know what account we were getting until the call came in on the phone, and then as soon as the call came in on our computer, we would get a pop-up that would just show us the script of what we were supposed to say on the call and stuff like that. So, we had a lot of customers that were none too happy when they were calling us, mostly because of the fact that, you know, like their orders hadn't come in or something like that. And having to deal with all of that, and it's just like, nope, you need to call customer service. We're just the order line. And them not getting the problem there that it's just like, we can't handle that, like, literally. And I understand that's like a situation of just the customer doesn't know that we're not the main company, you know? So it's rough having to deal with that, but the fun illegal thing that happened when we were there was we were part of, you know, we were in a building. There was a lot of other businesses in the building that we were at. One of them was, I believe, a coffee company, and something happened there where their business caught fire. And so we're sitting there taking calls, and things smell like they're burning, and then the smoke starts to like hover over the call center. And it's like, hey, we have other call centers. Can we, like, push the calls to one of the other call centers because we're just breathing in smoke here? And they took their sweet time doing that. To the point where they had a supervisor go out and watch the streets to see when there were fire trucks coming. That way they could keep us in the seat until the very last moment that they could to get us all out of the building. So that was a lot of fun. Fire alarm was going off while we're on the phone, so I'm taking a call and customer's like, hey, what's that sound in the background? I'm like, oh, that's the fire alarm going off. And they're like, oh, should I let you go? I'm like, oh no, they're not letting us out of the building yet. So that was a fun time. Sorry, I missed your message. I wish all call centers had a button to yeet them to who they want, or even better, having the first number you call be someone who directs you to who you need. Yeah, that'd be nice. Most of the time you're going through an automated system that just pushes the call off to wherever it's supposed to go. Nope, I would have started to walk out that second. Yep, we should have, but we didn't, and I was young and dumb at that time, like I was straight out of high school, so... And like I said, we were just so beaten down as workers that we didn't really think to just like quit on the spot kind of thing. Plus, I mean, like, a lot of people were, you know, I myself was not really hyper dependent on my paycheck because I was still living at home at the time. So but a lot of other people were hyper dependent on their paycheck. It was one of their many jobs, and if they left it, they were going to be struggling a lot, so it sucks. I used to be worried starting out, but I have absolutely nothing against walking out of a job on a second's notice. I actually did it with Walmart. Yep. At this point, yep, I'm the same way. I just stopped going, and 3 days later I went up and gave my vest and work phone back and told him I quit. That's awesome. And quite honestly, it seems like that is how people are really starting to treat these jobs as they should, because it's crazy that they think it should be okay for them to treat their workers this way. And I'm glad people are finally making them realize that. Just have the mindset of I'll make do, especially now while I can do that. Take the freedom if a job is terrible. Next time I quit, I'm going to say I'm going to quiet quit. Oh yeah, the favorite Twitter thing right now of quiet quitting, which is just doing your job that they hired you for. Still blows my mind that they're like, yeah, we can't just make people work longer hours and do more stuff than we hired them for. Quiet quitting, aka working for the amount I'm paid for. Yup. Yup. I mean, again, reminding me of my work history. Oop, there we go. Imagine doing your job description at stated times on days I'm required to work. Yeah. Yeah, like I was saying, once again, going through my job history, my illustrious job history, there was a job that I worked at, doing QA work. We were there was the U.S. part of our company, and we also had a branch that was also doing working on the same product in Sweden, and they have their government mandated vacation days over there, as well as it's general practice that they will like take the summer off essentially. So the Swedish office was behind on their work, and then they all went on vacation at the same time for summer break. So because they were behind, management made all of our company work overtime to get the stuff done. Even though a lot of us weren't working on that particular product, but they still wanted us to do the time regardless of whether or not our side was behind on whatever we were working on. So I just like was working 60 hours a week, sitting in my cube, twiddling my thumbs because I already ran my full spectrum of testing and had nothing else to work on. So absolutely hate the work mindset here. The only country that does that, yet everyone thinks it's the only way in life, isn't it like 3 months a year vacation, not including your sick days? Yeah, it's I think it's either 6 or 8 weeks government mandated vacation every year, not including your sick days. So yeah, it was during that stretch, I was working 60-hour weeks, doing nothing essentially, except for what I was already working on. But that did not fill up the 60 hours needed, so it was basically just like I'm sitting at work. For what reason? And we did that for a year. And then I said, nope, I'm done. I left for a different company. And then ended up finding out that I was being vastly underpaid for my job when I went to the other company. So I just wanted to move to Finland, mainly for the free college plus work-life balance. Plus you get paid to go to college as a citizen. The uni that Linus went to was completely free and even offers courses internationally for free. That's awesome. I imagine limitation-wise, you probably need to know Finnish for that, or are the courses offered in English? Because that'd be nice. Because Finnish is not one of the languages I'm learning right now, so it would take me a bit. Nope, English, Java and Python, MOOC with a certificate at the end. Wow, that's awesome. I may have to look into that. What university is this? Out of curiosity? God, I need to, like, get closer to this. I'm having trouble seeing what I'm actually painting here. Because the lines are so tiny. Hang on, I need to give this a quick mix. It's starting to get a little too sticky. There we go. No college credits though, but if you're a college student in Finland, even not at that college, you get college credits for the course. That's cool. Helsinki, okay. Makes sense. Yeah, I had originally started learning Swedish with the intention of looking for work in that area. Unfortunately, that never worked out. But I ended up really enjoying learning languages, and so just kept at it anyway with other languages. So DM you a link of their courses if you want. Doesn't go by Helsinki name directly. They have like 6, and each is 2 college semesters worth of courses. I mean, yeah, you can definitely DM it to me. I'll take a look. You know what? I'm actually gonna adjust this camera a tad because I need to get closer to this. So looks like they added AI and cybersecurity courses since last I was there. It was just Python, Java last time. That's cool. I mean, for sure, both cybersecurity and AI are becoming bigger and bigger things. I mean, cybersecurity was always an important thing, but it will always be... It'll be of growing importance because everything is just going online at this point, so... over just so it's in the frame again. Not exactly sure how in-depth their courses are, but I know it's enough to land an entry-level position. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably too far along to get much of anything out of their Python course. But it's nice to know that it's there. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at what they got on offer, because for sure, learning new stuff is well worth it, because God knows, if you don't keep the skills up, you kind of just drop behind and everything. So, oh, I just scrolled down. Apparently that's just their features courses. Looks like they have them all over for full stack scientific computing. Wow, that's cool. God, my typo rate seems higher on this new keyboard, sad, because I like this one a lot. What'd you get for a keyboard? Red Dragon K580 Vada brown switches. Nice. I'm sure once you get used to it, you'll probably be doing just fine. I remember when I got my, when I'm running a Logitech G810, I think. Switch from a Logitech G710 with, yeah. Yeah, I'm on an 810. It took me a while to get used to typing on it, because I didn't have like a decent keyboard before, so. Downgraded from a 250 keyboard to a 51, but it's much newer. That's cool. Just because a keyboard is cheap does not mean that it is not a good keyboard. So, it's a desktop keyboard that has a function key, so that's bound to be useful for setting keybinds. Yeah, definitely. Take a lot of layers to get the red to really pop on this a lot more. It's almost also my first time using anything but blue switches, so the typing sounds very quiet, even though it's not really. Yeah, I forget what's in mine. I think it's red switches. It's very, very loud whenever I am typing. So I don't tend to do mouse keyboard games on streaming because my keyboard is excessively loud and the microphone picks up a lot of it. So. Alright, let me rinse off the brush a bit because it's getting a little too blobby on the brush. There we go. Alright, give this a mix. There we go. Okay, let's see. I can get this. Oh, and the delay and buffer thing seems consistent when you're doing painting streams. When gaming, there's only 2 to 4 second delay, but on these streams, bounce speeds. Oh, it could be also that I'm on a laptop on a wireless connection, so that might be adding to it. I might need to look into hooking up a wired interface on it. When I'm on my desktop, it's wired gigabit Ethernet, so. Yeah, hopefully next time I will do the wired thing on the laptop. That way it's should be smoother running for you, hopefully. on my video stats, setting it's had 141 skipped frames, but it's saying it's running at 3.5K bitrate. So 2K the default usually. Can't remember. I do not know. Your guess is as good as mine. Alright, let's try getting these lines to be a little bit more pronounced. Definitely gonna have to go through and do a lot of touching up on the blacks of this mask, because it's getting a little overshot on the lines, but making do. Streaming is weird. Yes, it is. It is a constant battle for me to actually do this somewhat competently. And I don't know that I will ever be good at it, but as long as I am helping to entertain people, that is really what matters to me. You'd think they'd user-friendly a lot of the latency stuff and resolution stuff in the softwares, but I see so many people sitting at 720p 30 with good internet that doesn't know how to change it. It's not even their fault. Yeah, like, it took me a long time to get the stream configured how I wanted, and, like, even longer in OBS Studio. It's one of those things where it's just like, it's a constant fight of trying to figure out exactly what is the best settings, and you don't really know how things are going to go until you try to start streaming. And then that's when you find out, hey, this isn't working how I intended it to. Like, the bitrate thing was definitely that way for me when I first started, because just going with stock settings, it's like, okay, let's start it, and I'd start it, and as soon as it started going, I'm just dropping frames left and right, and it's just like, oh god, let me shut it down and try again, and that was some real rough streaming that day. They could stick bitrate in advanced and have a slide that says high quality, high delay, low quality, low delay. Yeah. I'm hoping that they will continue to get better at making the software much easier to run, because it requires a ton of research just to get a mostly working setup. So maybe, just maybe, we'll make this easier. I have an internet speed test button that recommends bitrate based on that too, as well as asking how much delay they're okay with for the viewer. Yeah. Like, they have some speed test stuff, but it's still... let me just put it this way, it's not accurate. Because I went with the settings that OBS Studio recommended to me when I first set it up. It's like I ran through their auto set thing. And it does like a whole bunch of different things with the setup to make sure, you know, what you got for internet speed and what your hardware is capable of, and I went with all of the things that it recommended. Then I went to go stream, and I was just dropping frames constantly. And just like, okay, well, we're gonna have to tweak this a lot, apparently. Plus that one setting that is just absolutely no context. Very, very fast, normal, slow, very slow. Yeah. It'd be nice if they made it nice and easy. It's one of those things where I feel like they'll get there eventually, but it seems like it's gonna be a bit... Hey Ivan, how's it going? Don't think my internet would be good for streaming. I have 450 down, only 20 up. Yep, I also have cable internet. 20 up is the best I got. Yeah, I am pretty happy with this Spider-Man. I like Miles Morales a lot. Particularly the, like I was saying at the beginning of the stream, the Into the Spider-Verse version, I feel, is just like the perfect way that they could have done them. Because I've read the Miles Morales, like when he first shows up in the comics, and it was decent, but I feel the storyline was way better in Into the Spider-Verse, so. By the way, the spider in my home passed by. Definitely have gigabit Ethernet. They market it as gigabit, and that's the max speed if you buy the highest tier. Technically, on gigabit Ethernet, just with the cap speed. I am also on gigabit Ethernet. I am, or gigabit, service. But, like, it's down, so it works fine for downloading stuff, but anything, streaming-wise, it didn't really factor in all that much. In my house, I have a spider right now. Oh, geez. Those are never fun. I'm not a big fan of actual spiders. Trying my best to avoid real spiders at all costs. I will not kill him. More power to you. I know how important spiders are, but I cannot stand to have one in my house. Works fine for that time at 2 AM when you're trying to do something that shuts off for some reason. For 10 minutes, jeez. I've been overall pretty lucky with my internet service. Does not go down all that often. That being said, I have had issues with them previously. I know how important spiders are, but I know how strong my fist is compared to that spider. Yeah. I am not a big fan of real spiders. I am most certainly arachnophobic, along with my other phobias, so... God, I gotta, like, get low on this so I can actually see this figure. Things are getting tiny. About the painted fingernails. Yeah, I don't do them that often. But I was like, you know what? Feeling like going for blue this week, so. And honestly, I think this is the first time I've actually done my nails for a stream, so. Same color as my Twitch name, yep. I will have to... I only know about Hatsune Miku from the memes. I am not at all familiar with the character itself, but I do know that, yes, the hair color is, like, spot on for my nail color. Sad when my Twitch Prime trial ends, I lose my Cyan name, vibrant colors. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay, where is... Trying to see where the lines are for this. I think that's right. Hot take, but Twitch Turbo greater than Twitch Prime. What is Turbo? Is that yet another thing I have to pay for? Give this another mix. It's getting a little overly sticky again. $10 a month, customized username color, no ads across site, not just sub channels, 2 cents of predefined emotes, glitchy and monkey emotes, 60 days of odds versus 14. That's not too bad. I'm not sure I'd pay for it, but that is cool that is an option now. I also don't have, like, super disposable income right now either, so that's kind of the other reason that I wouldn't really do the Switch. The only thing you lose is emotes from sub-channels, and with Prime, you don't even get those unless you use it one time a month. Yeah. Go. It's pretty much discount prime, no emotes. I like it more because it stops at... Yeah, God knows having a way of stopping ads is fantastic. Because they are quite intrusive. Twitch Turbo users are the ones with the sideways battery with lightning bolt logo beside their name. Very rare. I will have to keep an eye out for that. I did not know that. Okay. Got a few areas we need to touch up real quick, but here. Make these a little bit more hard lines on this. Twitch ad blocking is much harder now. Normal ad blockers, even Brave browser doesn't work anymore. You have to use a special extension. Ah. Well, that's... yeah. They will always... I mean, it's just an arms race of... They'll figure out how to block them. Twitch will figure out how to get around the block. So... it's a constant battle. Add a little bit more red to this. I think we still need to do a little bit more touching up, plus we need to do the gloves. Alright, let's... some water in there. Doesn't just block the ad, what it does is delete the ad element temporarily on the page, moves the small 480p preview during ads to the view box, still 480p, re-adds the sound to the video, then when the ad ends it puts up normal view. Jeez. That's cool. But that is crazy complex on what it's doing. Let's touch up these a little bit. Super advanced, doubt it can be blocked by Twitch unless they stop letting you see vid previews during ads. Yeah. I mean, you know, I wouldn't put it past them. I'm sure they'll figure something out to block that. Because like I said, it's an arms race. They'll just keep figuring out something to block and then get around the block and then block and then get around the block. Only downside is it's 480p during ad times. Yeah, but it's not terrible. It's doable. Alright. You know what? We're gonna do just regular red for the fingers because I don't want to try to get the little ridges. That's gonna be brutal to try to get these actually painted with just like the little individual parts. The other way is a proxy that strips the ad but causes delay, and that can also be blocked by not allowing VPN users to even see streams anymore. Ah. Yeah, I think you said before that you were having trouble watching my streams with a VPN, right? Don't put that beside them. They've already shadow banned VPN users if I turned on send a chat right. Yep, there we go. That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, I remember you having trouble with doing VPN access before, which sucks. Like, it'd be nice if they just let VPN users actually access the streams normally, but I realize that also kind of runs into a situation of getting around bans and stuff like that, so which is already kind of rough for Twitch, where they've got like the hate raids and stuff like that, so I can kind of understand them not wanting to allow certain things like that, but still stinks. Sucks because if you use a lot and forget to turn it off, you think the streamer's ignoring you. Oh no. Well, I'm sorry if I ever made you feel that way. Certainly, I try not to ignore people when they're talking on stream, so... I like chatting, so... Kept hush-hush, but imagine how many users are probably chatting in streams for years, yet they've never said a word. Yeah. Yeah, it's too bad. Like, I can understand why Twitch has a problem with VPN users, and again, it's purely from a situation of they're trying to cut down on like the hate raid stuff, but I don't know. It'd be nice if they could figure out a better way to do it. Right now I'm shadow banned on YouTube, not sure why, because I rarely comment, but if I comment anything on any channel, it auto-deletes in 10 seconds. You can test it by editing a comment, and then after 10 seconds it gives an error for editing. Oh! Well, that's good to know. Is it possibly that you're using a VPN on YouTube? Like, you don't strike me as the person that would end up getting banned for combative content or something, like, repeatedly on YouTube, so... Okay, that's looking a little bit better. Gotta do little bit more on the shoulders, because this is, like, you can see the black layer coming through on the shoulders. Now, I had it disabled. I'm not sure if it's because I've used VPN before on YouTube. If I've said things on comments that got me shadow banned years ago. I had this email since I was 7 years old or what. Yeah. Well, hopefully it gets fixed soon. Like, that really sucks. I think it's been happening for a while. Second way to test a shadow ban or just general comment removal is your comment will always be the top comment on a vid for you. Yeah, very true. Noticed that as soon as I put some comments in on some videos before, so... Yeah, as long as yours isn't the pinned comments, or as long as they don't have a pinned comment, then, yeah, you pop up top. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Probably need to go over it again at some point, because the red is still kind of a little... needs more, I think. But that is at least good for right now, so we'll do the white one, do the eyes, and then we can do some more work on the rest of this. Wish Google had a contact form, but you can only get direct support from Google if you have a Google One subscription, which is dumb. Ooh, yeah. Turn this so I can get that in camera. There we go. Yeah, with the way Google is anyway, like, a lot of YouTubers that actually make their career on YouTube still don't have a decent way of contacting Google, so... it's a constant battle. Okay. Ooh, this is pretty thin. Gonna have to go through and actually do another round on this, because this is coming in extremely thin. Thin and gloopy. Just had a weirdest capture from PlayStation. It had pics of a bunch of rats. Sets of 3 with an arrow pointing in a direction. I had to pick the one that the rats were going the same direction as the arrow. Yeah, I mean, it's a situation of they got to keep retraining AI, so they'll keep thinking of a whole bunch of different captchas to try out. One of my favorites was, well, not a favorite, but it was hilarious to me. So I run a couple Starfinder role-playing games online, and I use Fantasy Grounds Unity for doing the tabletop stuff. It's a very nice program, but you have to have people sign up on Fantasy Grounds to be able to log in and all that. So my players had to go through the process of getting that set up, and they had a CAPTCHA that was like a math problem, and they were getting the right answer, but the CAPTCHA wasn't taking it. So it's like they were like, I know I'm doing the math right, but it's not accepting it. What am I doing wrong? Already getting paid to train Google's AI. Why must I do it for free? Well, I mean, Google gets a lot of free work out of their users. It's all about getting as much free work as possible from the people that use your stuff. Just gonna touch up this a little bit. You know, I'm probably doing the red again too soon, because I still need to go through and get the eyes up a little bit more, because right now they are not they're not the right amount of colored yet, so I gotta redo the eyes, but it's bugging me. It's almost like how Elongated Muskrat can tweet something and make his stock skyrocket and then sell right after. Yeah, it's almost like stock rules don't apply to him, even though he's gotten dinged for that before. You know, it's I just randomly thought of that name one day and I love it. I also call Elden Ring Onion Ring. Yeah. Oh god, I gotta get back to Elden Ring at some point. Started that game. Liked it. Haven't played it since I started it. Problem is, there's just too many good games and not enough time. Like one of the other things I picked up recently. Need a co-op player. Yeah, if I get back to it, I would definitely love to have some help. Like, the problem is I have a habit of starting stuff and then not going back to it. And Elden Ring was definitely that kind of game for me. That's part of why I stream stuff, is it kind of pushes me to actually continue to play something. So who knows, maybe I'll try streaming Elden Ring at some point. Part of why I didn't stream Elden Ring initially was, well, twofold, because everyone was streaming Elden Ring. So you kind of get lost in the shuffle when everyone's doing the same thing. But aside from that, I am not especially good at Souls-like games, and so I get very self-conscious if people are watching. So, same, I'll beat every Souls game eventually, though. Yeah, they are dang good games. Like, I remember I tried playing the first Dark Souls way back when I was, heard it was a good game. And I was terrible at it. So I gave up on it, like, pretty quickly. It wasn't until the remastered version came out on Switch that I picked up the remastered version and started to try to work through it, and I actually got pretty far in it. Sounds cocky to say, but I think myself as a very good at them. I also have thousands of hours, so if I wasn't good, I'd be worried. Yeah, well, that's cool, though. Like, I wish I had the skill to be good at those types of games. Like, my reflexes just aren't great. Just part of getting old, I suppose, because certainly back when I was in my 20s, I was playing Quake 3, and I was quite a good player, so I definitely had decent reflexes at one point, but time makes fools of us all. Really does just come with time. Like, all games can be broken out of muscle memory. Yeah, but my muscles are atrophied as far as my reflexes go. Like, I don't know, even if I started doing, like, this is me going to, looking at a game that I was, legit very good at. Like, Quake 3 is my go-to example for that. Certainly, I still have some muscle memory for it, but my reflexes and everything is just atrocious at this point, so even if I had a ton of practice again, I'm not sure I'd get back to the point of having the same skill level I did in Quake 3. Like, I'm really wishing I had, like, replays saved of when I used to play Quake 3 constantly, because I got to the point where I could probably have done tournament play for it, but never ended up doing that. On Xbox One, I have at least 4 to 5 times these hours, but DS1, 21, DS2, 32, DS3, 231, jeez. Elden Ring, 166, Sekiro, 34, DS2, I easily have 1,000 in total. 3, probably have 1.5 thousand. Elden Ring and Sekiro are the only accurate ones, I said. Those are, that's a lot of time. I do not have that much time logged in basically any game I've played, aside from the one game on Steam that I have an insane amount of time on. um, is Voxelgram, which is just it's a 3D Picross game. It's a dumb game, but I have like 350 hours in it or something. Hyperfixated hard on Souls games growing up. That's awesome. Yeah, Souls games are definitely one of those styles of games that I wish I had started playing them back when they originally came out, because I feel like I would probably, I would have been playing them when I was in my prime kind of thing, versus I'm kind of past that reflex-wise, so. But, all that being said, still fun games. I just end up, I end up having to, no shame, use, the computer players hopping in to help me on some of the boss battles, which, I mean, they're in there for a reason. So like, it's one of those things where some of the purists online will be like, oh, you didn't legit beat the boss if you end up using the either the computer co-op or regular player co-op, and it's just like, if they didn't want it to be in the game, they wouldn't have put it in the game. So, got no shame playing it the way that the game intends it to be played. There we go. Now, did you play, so you listed off a whole bunch of stuff. Did you play Bloodborne at all? Was that one of the Souls games you played as well? Because Bloodborne I originally bounced off of extremely hard, because that game was even faster as far as the Souls games go. But I went back to it after I got decently far in the first Dark Souls game, and it's just like, oh, now I'm actually somewhat capable at this. DS3 hours, I did math on Xbox One, PC combined. Jeez. So I have PS4 hours, so that's still low. Can't get playtime for PS4, sadly. Played Bloodborne a ton, yep. Bloodborne is a really, really fun game. I like the setting a lot. It's probably my favorites out of the Souls games for just, like, the setting and the lore alone. I'm not particularly good at it, but I just love the Lovecraftian elements of it a ton. Now, here's another question. You played Bloodborne a ton. Have you played Bloodborne PSX at all? Nice. What'd you think of it? Pixels. Oh, man. As soon as I saw that come out, I was just having tons of flashbacks to when I was playing PS1 as a kid. And Lilith, the developer who made Bloodborne PSX, is currently working on the Bloodborne kart racer in the same style. Been watching the progress stuff on Twitter for that, and it's just like, that looks amazing. You can do multiplayer on it through Hamachi. Oh, that's cool. Bloodborne kart. Yeah, it looks hilarious and awesome. I am super excited to see when it comes out. Yeah, I started following her on Twitter, and just seeing all the progress shots, and it's just amazing. Plus, you put in a Akira bike slide, because how could you not if you're doing a game that has motorcycles in it? God, I need to go back and play some actual PS1 games again sometime. So when I first started getting back into streaming, like trying to actually put myself on a schedule, I should say, I came back and was streaming Tomba from the PS1. Because I had played the demo of that obsessively when I was a kid. Never actually had the game when I was a kid, but my cousin did. She played through the entire game, and then when she got older, like, she gave me all of her PS1 stuff, because she wasn't really into video games at that point anymore. So I've had the Tomba disc sitting around for a while. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start trying to stream on a schedule. Tomba was the game that I started on, and I played through all of it. Did not 100% it, but I did beat it, which was pretty fun. I like that game a lot. I need to go back and actually play the Tomba 2. Because I've heard that one is really, really good. And I suppose a game that I should play at some point in time, seeing as I have loved all of the... Well, I won't say all of the sequels, but a few of the sequels have been fantastic, is I need to go and play the original Armored Core game, the first one on the PS1. I'm sure it's terrible to control, but I was a huge fan of Armored Core 2 on the PS2. I also had Armored Core 3. Did not get into that one as much, but it was also very fun. I tried streaming Armored Core 4 Answer, but I was streaming the PS3 version, and that one it runs like crap. It was a slideshow when I was streaming it. I need to go back, and apparently the Xbox 360 one was better. So better as far as the performance goes. So I need to actually go back and give that a shot at some point in time. Very forgotten niche game, but Eternal Eyes on the PS1 is a really good RPG, Fire Emblem Disgaea type game. I don't even know about that one. I will have to take a look at it. I did try, I've played a little bit of Disgaea, not a ton. I know some people swear by that game. It's fun. It's, even the first game is a little too many systems kind of all at once kind of thing. I may have, I'm gonna try to give it a better shot, but yeah, I bought the remastered Disgaea on the Switch. And like I said, it's fun, but it's kind of just overwhelming in how many systems it has. Alright. So let's see. Got the suit's looking pretty good. We're going to need to go through and actually do, like, all the detail work on the suit, which will take a little bit of time. But in the meantime, let's take a look at the base. So the base has got, like, a piece with windows on it, it looks like. Some rocks. So, you know what, let's go ahead and try doing some dirt first. We'll do dirt across the whole thing, and then I can do the rocks, and then I can do the window piece and all that. I tried it out for a few minutes before getting overwhelmed and stopped. Is this Eternal Eyes, or is this Disgaea? Disgaea. Yep. Totally understand if it's Disgaea, because there is a lot to that game. I like the... yeah, Disgaea. Like, the systems are really cool in it. I appreciate everything that the game is. But there's a lot to it. And it's kind of just overwhelming because they do kind of ease you into it a little bit, but there's still just so much to it that it's just extremely overwhelming. There we go. That said, a friend of mine, well, actually, you know, met him on the previous stream, RJ, is super into Final Fantasy Tactics. So I was like, well, if you're into that, I'm gonna get you Disgaea, because kind of the same style of game. And actually, I also got him into XCOM. He had never played an XCOM game before, but he had streamed him playing a randomized mod of Final Fantasy Tactics. And when I saw him playing that, I'm like, oh my god, you gotta give XCOM a shot. I think it's right up your alley. Bought him a copy. He hadn't played it for a very long time until I had him play the XCOM board game, which is not at all like the video game, but it's quite fun. Got him playing that. He really enjoyed the board game. We ended up, and then he actually went and tried the video game on the computer, and he absolutely loved XCOM, to the point where he's played, like, modded campaigns of it. His wife, Liz, got really deep into XCOM as well. They got XCOM 2 as soon as it came out. If someone really needs a mobile game to scratch that itch, Fire Emblem Heroes is like the full thing, but in short bursts, 10x10 grids, 4 characters. Yeah, RJ's actually been getting into Fire Emblem 3 Houses on the Switch. Also, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is basically just Mario XCOM. Yes, it is. I played a little bit of it. It's the right amount of XCOM for me because I very much like a lot of other games. I appreciate what XCOM is doing, but it's kind of just a bit too much for me, kind of thing. It's also not generally my style of game, but I like the idea behind it. But yeah, I played through quite a bit of Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Obviously, before all the Ubisoft stuff came out. That's kind of soured me on that game since then. Bought it for $13 on sale because no, Nintendo, I'm not paying $80 for Luigi with a sniper rifle. Fair. Yeah, I showed RJ and Liz Mario plus Rabbids. They liked it, but it's like they looked at it and they're like, yeah, I could buy that, or I could just continue to play more XCOM 2. It's just like, okay, fair enough. Because once XCOM 2 came out, they got super deep into it. They were again, they beat it. They beat the DLC for it. They started modding it and playing through modded campaigns. It's like their go-to game if they don't know what else to play at the moment, kind of thing. Although now they're stuck in World of Warcraft, so getting them to play other stuff is near impossible at the moment. Alright, so we got a lot of that stuff. There's a few spots that I missed. Whoa, there are some huge PS deals right now on games. What do they got on sale right now? Might have to take a look if it's some stuff I'm interested in. There we go. I'll list some major names that are just $20 or under right now. That's cool. Yeah, go for it. God knows I don't need to spend more money, but I'm a sucker for a sale. There we go. That is looking pretty good. Alright, let's take a look at what I got for grays here. For doing the rock. Let's see. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Oh, by the way, I will still be playing Gravity Rush 2 tomorrow for a stream, but I will be cutting the stream about a half hour earlier than I usually do. Because Lucky Bun is going to be doing a charity stream for the Trans Empowerment Project tomorrow at 6 Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to end a half hour early on that stream just so that can raid into Lucky Bun's channel and donate towards that, because obviously a very good cause. Okay, let's hit these rocks up. Bunch of new and old COD games: Star Wars, Jedi Fallen Order, Deluxe, Diablo 3 Eternal Collection, Spyro, Assassin's Creed, Ezio Collection, Little Nightmares 1 and 2, Odyssey, DMC 5, Deluxe, wow. Bunch of Tom Clancy, Detroit Become Human, Monster Hunter World. Good bit more. Wow, that's crazy. Wow. There's some good ones in that. Like I'm more on the side of Monster Hunter Rise, but World is also a very, very good game. Rise was the one that I really got into, but if World is on sale, like, World is also a very, very good game. Good bit of the games I listed were only 10 or... Jeez. Yeah, there's some good deals in there. I might have to check out some of the stuff that they got on sale right now. Like I said, I am a sucker for a sale, so... Stop there because I didn't want to flood chat too bad. I appreciate that. I've tried to tune... I've tried to tune Nightbot as best as I can, but... I don't want you to accidentally get timed out again. Check out the Nintendo Switch deals too, just to see if they're decent or like $5 off. Yeah, unfortunately Nintendo doesn't generally have, or at least I will say Nintendo first party titles don't ever generally go on sale, unfortunately. Which really sucks. I'd love to see more of their stuff go on sale, but they're very, very much on the side of we're gonna keep selling this at full retail price in perpetuity, and it's just like, come on, really? Looks like they made a new Kirby game that just looks like Kirby Mario. Oh, is there another one beyond the one that they just released? I can't remember what the newest, or what the Kirby game they just came out with a little while ago is called. It was the one where you could, like, eat a car and stuff like that. And get cheaper at G2A, but they're... Oh, G2A is very shady. G2A has sold stolen keys before, so... Kirby's Dream Buffet is the one I saw. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. The one I saw was the one where you could, like, eat the car and stuff like that. Got that from my mom. She was really liking it. Gotten some good deals from them, but I don't press my luck too often with G2A. Yeah, there was, like, a whole big scandal. God, I'm trying to remember. Trying to remember when that happens. It was covered on the Jimquisition way long ago. But G2A is, yeah, it's a very shady organization. Plus, most of the time, G2A games are on sale, but they're more expensive than buying direct. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of how, like, regular retail works, too. It's like, we're gonna mark this up really high and then put it on sale. And the on sale is just, like, putting it at normal retail price. It's like, okay, cool. Thanks for just manipulating that so much to make it look like you actually have a sale. Alright. That is about good for the rocks. So let's find a good metal color. Dark gray, nope. I want a metallic. What do we got? That's a good one. Flat aluminum. Flat aluminum is a good color. Looks like they released Amicia. I don't know that one. The new and trending Souls-like on Switch. They gave it the Hitman treatment. It's a cloud version. Yeah. Looks like a one-time purchase for a cloud-based way of playing, and there's definitely no way at all that can go wrong. Yeah. Yeah, they did the same thing for Resident Evil 7 on the Switch. It's just like... Like, I understand that cloud-based means it kind of makes it more accessible for a console like that, but it's just, as soon as they go to shut down the servers, it's just like, cool. Can't play it anymore. It's like, cool, but that means my game is on a timer for how long I own it. Exactly. Exactly. Ew. This metallic is kind of like partially dried. Not sure I'll be able to mix it enough to get decent, well, it kind of works. It's really gooping up on the, on the toothpick, though. I have a 14-second delay right now. I'm sorry. It's gotta be the fact that I am running on wireless. I will try to make sure I plug in next time. Hopefully help minimize the delay that's happening. Let's see. Need something a little bit bigger. That's not quite... You know what? That one will work. Okay, let's see if I can get this. There we go. I don't mind it. Twitch has some smart systems actually for handling delay and buffering. Does the opposite of what radios do. Plays the stream slightly faster to gradually catch up. Oh, that's cool. Did not know that. It's got to be pretty gradual because it's not noticeable that they're speeding it up, so... This is already gooping up a ton. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. For when it buffers, does what radios do and plays back slightly slow to gradually increase delay and reduce buffer. Ah, okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to try to keep this moving. But I am going to paint the windows real quick. And then I'm going to go over and do the rest of that. So, windows. But we can go, like, super hard on the windows and do, like, a blue. Like a very light blue. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that. Hang on. Radio people have a button that they can press with a 5-second timer to cough. When they turn it off, gradually creeps back up to 5 seconds. When you turn it back off, it shows whatever sounds after you release the button directly after, so you never know they paused. This took more than 5 seconds. Ah, okay. I didn't know that was how the cough button worked. So here's what we're gonna do for the windows. This might be a bad idea, but we're gonna see if it works. I'm gonna take this metallic blue, mix in some white to get it lighter. That should make it look a little bit more reflective. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. I didn't know that is something I didn't know that was how the cough button worked on that type of setup. You know what? That is actually looking like a pretty good blue for what I was going for. I think that'll work just fine. Debating getting a new game or not, but I really need to play Dragon's Dogma more since I got that. I've never played Dragon's Dogma. I've heard it was good. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend it if you like D&D style combat in real time. I will certainly give it a shot. Yeah, I never played it when it came out. I saw some stuff on it, looked fun. What I ended up watching of it mostly was when the McElroy brothers did a Monster Factory for it, which was hilarious. God, I miss Monster Factory. I hope they do a new one soon. It's $30 on Steam right now, 10 on Switch, $5.60 on G2A if you're willing to play Russian roulette. I mean, I can just... If it's $10 on Switch, like, I could just get it on Switch. I do like Switch quite a bit. It's nice being able to play stuff and not have it be on the TV taking up everything. I'm kind of weird when it comes to that. Like, I will, like, I know I'm playing it on a smaller screen and stuff like that, and that I'm not, like, really focusing that much on the TV if I'm playing something on the Switch. But I don't know. I for some reason my brain works better if I have something playing on the TV at the same time while I'm playing video games. So internet is not required, but you will have pre-generated allies instead of player-made if you don't have a subscription. Oh, okay. Well, I do have the online subscription for Switch, so don't end up using it that much, but I pay for it. Because there was certainly a time where I was using it quite a bit towards the beginning of the pandemic when Animal Crossing came out. I was playing Animal Crossing quite a bit with my mom and my partner. So the internet's subscription for the Switch was super useful in that case. Gotten hooked on it since then. Already have 23.4 hours, 9.9 the last 2 days. Nice. It's got to be pretty decent if you're putting some time into it. Actually, you know what? Let's rotate this back around. I am going to mix a little bit of this gray in with the metallic and try to give it a different feel. Got it on Switch first, but I ended up getting it on G2A for the online features because I don't have online. Ah, I gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna be perfectly honest, like, the online thing for the Switch, probably not worth it in a lot of cases. Like, it was good for Animal Crossing. I played a little bit of Splatoon 2 on Switch, but I haven't used the online feature that much for the Switch. And certainly I'm not getting a lot of use out of the glorified emulators that they have on there for the original Nintendo and the Super Nintendo. It's like, if I wanted to play emulated games, I can just play stuff on an emulator. It's much easier. I can get access to a lot more. $20 a year one, maybe. $35 a year for a family of 5, definitely. $50 for a year and $64 in Genesis. I'm not paying for the Genesis one. I refuse. I refuse to pay for the N64 and Genesis one. Even I have limits. Yeah, that was when they announced that. I'm like, no, I am not going to be paying for that one. You kidding me? Like, Nintendo's got some gall wanting to charge that much for having access to some selection of N64/Sega Genesis games. I won't go into detail for clear reasons, but it is hypothetically possible to get the entire library of SNES running on Switch as well as N64, any console. Yeah. I know that the getting homebrew stuff running on the Switch is relatively easy at this point, so that being said, I have the Steam Deck that I can just straight up run emulators on if I want to, so without having to do anything too exceptionally, like, I know setting up or hacking the Switch is relatively easy at this point, but even then it's just like, the Steam Deck, I can just straight up do it without doing anything too special for it. Switch can run Dolphin if you run Android on the Switch. Nice. Oh, Dolphin. There's a dang good emulator. I remember the early days of Dolphin, though. That emulator did not used to run like anything. It's gotten substantially better in the time since. Like, I got into Dolphin, like, right when it initially launched, and it was still experimental. And it's just like, okay, let me give it a shot. And it's just like, nope, this isn't gonna run like anything. The appeal of Switch modding, for me, is custom themes, save backups, and modding games. Yeah. Totally understand that. There are some awesome custom themes for the Switch. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm sure at some point in time I will probably go through and actually get mine modded. It's one of those things where I don't generally hack my systems until the support is basically gone on it, kind of thing. Or there's an announced date for when they are going to drop support on it. So, like, I've gone through and gotten my 3DS modded, hacked, as soon as it was announced when they were going to be dropping support for the eShop and stuff like that, so. Still down to help on that when you do. Haven't been keeping much up to date on it. If you don't have a V1 Switch, though, I'd recommend avoiding doing system update. I have a V1 Switch. I got it launch day. For the last few generations, I've had launch day systems. With the exception of the most recent gen, I did not have launch day systems because they were friggin' impossible to get. Because of scalpers, because scalpers are terrible people. I gotta get the brush cleaned off because I'm getting globs of paint again. There we go. When you do mod, then wait at least 2 to 3 weeks from a major system update, number bump, give Atmosphere time to update, can't install previous versions of Horizon, switch official OS because of how they do fuses. Ah, okay. Well, I will keep that in mind. Like I said, when I eventually do it, it'll probably be pretty late, because I'm, you know, if they come out with like a new version of the Switch that actually has like games dedicated to it kind of thing, I will probably mod mine at that point, but probably not until then because I don't want to risk like having my account banned or something like that, so. Okay, gotta try to get all these little spots that are really hard to get. Sorry, this isn't showing up super well on camera. It's like tough trying to get into these little spots, and I'm trying to get like the light to line up just right too, so I can actually see what I'm doing. There we go. There's a spot I missed. I'm gonna go right here. There we go. Actually, I need to go back through and hit up some of the window spots again because got a little bit overdone on certain areas of the window. Eventually unmodded my Switch because it was a bit boring since I only used it for Breath of the Wild modding and save backups. Ah, okay. What kind of modding did you do for Breath of the Wild? Here we go. Alright. That is looking pretty good. Still gotta go through and do some detail work on this, but overall, I'm pretty happy with how this came out so far. think I'm gonna mix up some of the rubber color again. And like try to go back over the head and try to like clean up all these lines. Linkle mod. Oh, okay. Hair color, relics of the past. Full game overhaul and difficulty mod. Firebreaker armor turned into Pyra's armor from Genshin Impact. Fire sword turned into her sword. Some more armor adjustments for the Linkle mod. Cool. Much easier to mod Breath of the Wild on CMU emulator. A few mods ported to official Switch, but most mods are built specific. Oh, okay. Interesting. Alright. It's gray. There's the rubber black. Pop that there. And grab some of this out to mix up. That way we can try to get all the little spots along the red lines where I went a little bit over and get that fixed. That should look way better. CMU Breath of the Wild also has tweaks for graphics cards and stuff that can be run at any frame rate up to 360 Hz. Jeez. And can be upscaled to 4K. Has reshaders. Nice. Yeah, I've heard you can emulate the Switch stuff to make it look really, really nice on computer. Not to mention, given how easy it is to get the game dumps before they even go on sale in the stores, you can play the stuff sooner on emulator too, so... Oh, Switch Breath of the Wild runs, but it's really rough and barely moddable. Kirby and the Forgotten Land leaked 2 days before launch date. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the Switch stuff is just... It's like, oh god, what was it? Xenoblade Chronicles 3 launched, like, almost a week beforehand, if I remember correctly. Or got released on sites almost a week before it released on, like, actual retail. Actually zoom in on this. Nintendo is not on top of piracy. The majority of people host their games on Google Drive, charge a monthly subscription for like $5 a month, have a homebrew app store that can auto-update. Yeah, I know they're not especially good at it, and I do feel bad for the developers, but at the same time, like, pirates are always going to have, ultimately, the better products out there. And it's the job of the companies to actually come up with reasons why you should be buying it versus pirating it. And I feel like Nintendo's kind of bombing on that. The way to stop piracy is to offer better service than the pirates offer. It's a legal issue, but more so a competitor issue. Yeah, exactly. Like, that was, particularly back in the day when music piracy was a bigger thing. Like, it was a situation of they just weren't offering the service that you could get from pirating, so... And eventually, they did, and the piracy went down greatly. And then the industry did not learn their lesson after all that. Well, I say the industry didn't learn their lesson after all that. The music industry is doing far better when it comes to that now, but now the same thing's happening with video services, where it's just like, well, yeah, like, you're taking down a lot of your material, so yeah, people are having some problems with that, and I don't really understand why you're going about it like that. You learned nothing from what happened with music piracy back in the day. HBO Max took down a bunch of shows recently. The owners of the shows no longer own the rights because HBO owns them, so even though they wanted to continue, they no longer own it. They've hinted in their bios. Yes, exactly. Infinity Train, the creator for that, I saw he had updated, or they had updated their Twitter bio talking about that, and it's just like, yep. It sucks. Like, and HBO is doing it because they don't want to pay, they don't want to pay, like, royalties and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's just like, what the hell? Like, just pay people what they're due. Like, it's insane that they can get away with that stuff. I think the Twitter algorithm thinks we are the same person. Yeah, I ended up, when it got announced that they were taking down a bunch of stuff, it's like, well, Jesus, I should probably try to, like, watch this stuff before they take it down, so... But there's only so much you can get through when they give you such short notice like that, so... Tried my best. But there's just too much stuff that they're taking down. And not enough time in my day. Since I'm, you know, still working and stuff. Okay, this is looking a little bit better. And then this is just like the next layer. I still got to go through and like do some shading on this after too. My mom watched Dancing with the Stars every Saturday night for years. Now it's Disney Plus exclusive, and she was upset about it. Yeah, you know, it's one of those things where it's just like, I have, like, especially over COVID, have gotten to the point where, sorry, I had to scratch my arm. I've gotten to the point where I just have less and less issue with piracy in general. Not promoting it, but I'm also not going to fault people for doing it. For the most part, like, there's some exceptions to that rule, obviously, like, you know, indie developers and stuff like that, where it actually does impact them greatly. Like, I take issue with, you know, just straight up stealing from them, because they're literally living from paycheck to paycheck in a lot of cases with the stuff that they have made just themselves and put out just themselves, kind of thing. But if it's a, you know, big publisher, I'm perfectly fine with people pirating stuff off of them. Like, a lot of people will say, and they were kind of doing this too with the whole Hogwarts Legacy game that was coming out, about oh, you gotta, you know, I'm not buying it to support J.K. Rowling, but I want to support the developers. And it's like, listen, the developers already got paid. In a lot of cases, they probably already got laid off too, because these publishers generally just, like, scrap people as soon as the project's over. Like, you buying the game does not ultimately help the developers if it was a big publisher or studio kind of thing. Like, the developers got paid when they were making the game. They're not getting paid after the fact. The way I see it is, there is a big difference between getting content in a reasonable manner and stealing. Especially in the case of games or movies that are no longer sold by companies themselves. Is Nintendo losing any money off of someone downloading the Japanese version of Zelda Twilight Princess rather than buying it from some dude named Fred for $300 on eBay? Exactly. Like, yeah, it's like, Nintendo is especially a big offender on this, because they make it near impossible for you to get a lot of these things easily, legitly. Like, it's just, yeah. Nintendo ultimately is not going to go to the poorhouse because you are getting a game that is no longer available from a torrent site or whatever. Again, not me advocating piracy, but at the same time, it is not going to impact Nintendo as a company. I wish copyright laws would be updated for 2022. You should have rights to make a personal copy of your own software and games, as long as you don't distribute them. Yep, agreed. I think any digital media, or anything that can be played digitally, like movies, software, all that stuff. My opinion is you should be able to make your own copy and archive it, because you know what? You are entitled to an archive copy, but you can't get it because you have to break copyright protections to get the copy. Companies will not provide the copy to you. Exactly. There's obviously ways around that. And when it comes down to it, yeah. I am very much of the opinion that you should be able to make archive copies of your things that you own. Because who knows when the thing that you got is going to, like, break, as happens with movies and stuff like that. So, alright, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take the flat black. It is 100% legal to make an archival copy, just illegal to get it in the first place, which is so stupid. It depends. Yes, in most cases, it is illegal to get it in the first place, but trying to remember, I think it's yearly, the DMCA makes it so that certain methods of doing stuff is no longer illegal under the DMCA. I forget what the period of time that it is that they update it, but it's like saying it is legal to take this game that is on the table, but it is illegal to reach above or around the table. Yeah. But yeah, there's the DMCA gets updated periodically to make certain methods legal for getting around copy protection. That being said, there's tons of ways to get around that stuff in a non-legal manner, and honestly, if you own the media, I think you should be able to do it. For Nintendo's case, they abuse that DMCA system. Oops. They do some strategies that make their copyright valid for 99 years from all cases. Yeah. Yep. It will continue to be a thing that companies will always abuse. Like, I mean, Disney's the worst when it comes to abusing copyright laws and actually introducing copyright laws that are incredibly abusive. Like, Mickey will never become public domain. And as much as I enjoy Disney having access to all the Marvel stuff from a perspective of, hey, they can make a shared universe, it sucks to have that much media consolidation. Yeah. Winnie the Pooh is great since original Pooh became public domain. The memes, of which are 100% legal now, are so great. That's awesome. And it's legal to make animations of classic Winnie too, so they have made Winnie the Pooh commit many more crimes. Oh, jeez. Oh, this is going to be some fun little line work that we're doing here to try to get this shaded. Yeah, there really needs to be more stuff that is done to get things to go into the public domain. Like, it's a huge thing that they steadily eroded over the years. That said, what has passed into the public domain so far is a lot of stuff that I have also gotten because I can, kind of thing. So, like, a lot of the old Charlie Chaplin stuff I have, because it's just super easy to get, and it's really enjoyable stuff, so... There's a great Ned Flanders meme of it to distinguish the new and old Mickey for copyright. Red and yellow, that's Mickey's fellow. Nude and brown, you're in Fair Use Town. Nice. Oh, new and old Winnie, that makes sense. Nice. Which is kind of hilarious if you think about it from the perspective, too, of it's a Ned Flanders meme, which Simpsons is now, because of the Fox merger, part of Disney. Because everything has to be owned by the mouse now. Found Winnie the Pooh has a oh god, no. No, 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 no. I will not be looking at that. No siree. Like, I am not, like, to the point of being a wreck if I see a spider, but I will avoid seeing a spider at any costs. That being said, conversely, I am outrageously claustrophobic. Like, I surprise even myself with how claustrophobic I am. To put it into perspective, spiders are too spidery for their own good. Yeah. So, to put it into perspective on how claustrophobic I am, I have a tough time handling, even TV shows, cartoons, anything like that that has small spaces. I am a wreck when I'm on a plane. I have to have an aisle seat, otherwise I freak out, kind of thing. But perfect example of how claustrophobic I am. I have a tough time watching How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the original Chuck Jones cartoon. When he goes down the chimney, that legit, like, I have trouble watching that scene, kind of thing. That's how bad my claustrophobia is. But spiders, on the other hand, like, I can deal with, like, pictures of spiders for the most part. If I see spiders in person, I will try to avoid them if at all possible. Or will kill them if I absolutely need to, kind of thing. Just remembered something random that's been mildly pissing me off lately. What's that? Whoops. Did not mean to throw that on the mats. There we go. Minecraft Bedrock Edition has a bug where certain multiples of 64, since 64-bit integer, you can fall through the ground and die because of some coding issue. They marked the bug as fixed one update. It came back, now marked it as confirmed, but also as won't fit. Eesh. Yikes. That's a brutal thing to just be like, no, we're not fixing that. Notably, 2048 blocks from spawn and 565 blocks. Yeah. That's a pretty big bug to just say, nope, sorry. And there are tons of things they won't fix in Bedrock compared to Java on Java. Bug was found fixed up to 30 million blocks in distance. Oh, man. Wow. Good job, Microsoft. Aren't they trying to push, like, Bedrock as being the end-all, be-all, like, this is the version that we're gonna put all of our focus in? You'd think Bedrock is the stable edition, but Java edition fixes bugs. But Bedrock has microtransactions. Oh. So, yes. Bedrock is the one that they want to be the end-all, be-all version, because that's the one that they're pushing microtransactions in. Bedrock is the console edition, but they put bug fix emphasis on Java. Oh, okay. Well, even still, like, that's real rough to have an issue like the 64-bit number thing, where it's you fall through the map. Like, that should be fixed. Especially if people are paying for having that stuff. It's more like they put a little effort into Bedrock while it makes them money. Java Edition gets special treatment because it's where the streamers are, which brings them the marketing. But still, if you're gonna offer it on console, like, put effort into the product that you're putting out there, like... Okay, that's looking pretty good. Pretty happy with how that's looking. Might touch up the white just a little on the eyes. On Bedrock, here is a list of bugs they haven't or have listed as they won't fix. Random fall damage, Random falling through the floor. RTX lighting has been broken for the last 2 updates. Random lighting errors in the ocean. Flying with a Elytria wings can randomly insta-kill you. Yeah, that stuff should be fixed. And it's crazy that they are not willing to fix it yet. If you walk 1 block below the end portal, you can instantly die because it miscalculated the distance and counts as max fall damage. I'm sorry, if you're selling a product, especially this day and age where updates are a thing that is expected, you should always be putting in your best effort on doing updates. That is nuts. Especially with the console, or with the Bedrock version being the one that you get, like, your, being the version that you get your cosmetics and microtransactions through. Like, if you want to push that stuff in there, you should be making sure to get the updates in there as well, because that's a real jerk move to want to just try to make money off of it without actually putting in the work. Here's the final kicker in the bucket. On Java, you can carry a world all the way from version 1.8 to the latest version with very little errors. On Bedrock, there's a chance of every minor update corrupting and deleting your entire world. What? Now, there's a bit of prep you have to do on Java to do that, but on Bedrock, the update is automatic and full. Oh, God. That's ridiculous. I'm kind of speechless. I can't believe that there is that kind of just general malaise of not really caring to maintain their game that well, I guess. Give them a little slack, since Bedrock is the exact same exact code base for all consoles, phone, and PC. The Java is entirely for computers. Java, which runs on everything the exact same way, but still. Yeah. I don't know. If they want to charge the way that they do for Bedrock, like, they should have some decent maintenance on there. Here we go. Gonna cover up a few spots in here where the black is coming through the paint. Luckily, they have kept the Java edition around mainly because of the uproar if they got rid of it. But even though the performance is worse than Bedrock without optimizations mods, it's honestly just the optimal version to play. It sounds it, yeah. There we go. There. Get a little bit more of the shoulder done, and that should take care of this. There we go. Looks pretty good. You know, I'm gonna hit the front emblem a little bit because this is a little dull as well. People used to be way more upset about the Bedrock thing, but now buying one version gives you the for free. Oh, okay. Well, at least they did that. There we go. Alright, I think that's looking pretty good. I gotta do like some dry brushing on the rocks and stuff. And actually, you know what? You know what's gonna look pretty good? I'm actually gonna work on this. So happy I have a legacy account, so I get so many capes for Java Edition. I have the converter cape for migrating Mojang account to my MS account. There's a leaked vanilla cape for people who own both Java and Bedrock before they merged. Nice. So here's what I'm gonna do real quick. I will be right back. I'm gonna go grab a cup because what I'm gonna do is I'm going to mix a wash that I'm gonna do the whole base in to try to like kind of scum it up a bit, seeing as it's like rubble. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Oh, you are going to be right back anyway. I will catch you then. So what we're gonna do in the meantime is I'm gonna mix a wash. This is probably not the best way to do it, but this is the way I've got. So gonna take tiny bits of black paint, put that in there. And then, you know what? I will be right back again, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bunch of water in here, mix it up, get it really, really diluted, and then I can just wash over the base of this, and it will get it nice, and it'll basically, like, look like it's all just, like, covered in dust and dirt and stuff like that. So, I'll be right back. There we go. Alright, so that is mostly water with a little bit of paint in it. Just gonna give this a brief stir. So like this is super duper diluted paint. It will not hold onto the model super well, but that is not what I'm intending for this, because what we're going to do is we're just going to take... This is probably a good brush for this. I'm going to get some of this super diluted paint on here, and we're just going to go and hit the base, and the wash will kind of cover all the surfaces in a slight black color, and then what's going to happen is it's going to really suck it into the corners as well, so it'll help the shading quite a bit too. Like, it doesn't look like much, but when it dries, it's gonna really, really help with making it all look much grittier, not look clean. Because that is part of the problem, too, is, like, if I don't do this kind of detail work, like, everything is gonna look way too clean for being, you know, a destroyed building kind of thing. There we go. We'll let that dry out a little bit. It'll take a little bit of time, but yeah, it's like I said, it's gonna soak into all the corners and crevices of this, and it's really gonna help make it all look way more weathered and stuff. You know, we're gonna go do another pass on this. You can already see it though for like the building part. Like here, let me zoom in. You can already see like this window thing is like already looking pretty dirty now, which is what I'm going for. Like this is also a thing if you do prop making or cosplay stuff. Going through and having, like, it, you know, you do your paint job to make the thing look new, but if you want to give it that extra touch, you go through and weather the prop that you're making or the costume that you're making. Because if it looks brand spanking new, like you've got the, you know, you've got the brand new paint job look for it, like it looks good, but it looks fake. And granted, like this is a model, it's not supposed to look real, but the weathering effect really helps give way more of a personality to the figure, if that makes sense. There we go. Hey, welcome back. There we go. That doesn't look like much right now, but when that dries, that is going to look way more weathered and actually make it look like that is some crumbling architecture that's just kind of covered in dirt and stuff. So that'll look good. I'm trying to think of what else I need. I need to go through and dry brush over the rocks, but I can't do that because I'm waiting for the wash to dry. So, can't do that. What can I do in the meantime? You know what, let's take this flat blue. We're gonna go a little bit lighter on the black rubber color. Like, this is actually going into just like flat blue territory, which is kind of what I want. There we go. Do that. So here, if I zoom out, pull this into camera. There we go. So that is less black rubber at this point, and basically kind of just into flat blue territory. And that's going to look pretty good for highlights. Oh, someone made a 3D Pokemon MMO, if that's something you're interested in trying out before Nintendo inevitably takes it down. I'd certainly give it a shot. I am so out of date with Pokemon stuff, though. But yeah, no, I definitely would like to give it a shot. Certainly. I always like to try that stuff before Nintendo takes it down. Like, I understand that they have to, but Nintendo has, like, no cool when it comes to that stuff. Like, they have to, but enjoy the free marketing for a moment, guys. Yeah, exactly. Game you didn't have to pay to develop to get people more interested in Pokemon. Yeah, exactly. There we go. Alright, so the base is still pretty wet. Can't really do dry brushing on that. But I can do the rim of it, so I'm gonna take this. Hang on. I'm gonna take this sky blue. Oop, there we go. X14, which is what I use for the hero bases for the ridge. I can't decide to play Dragon's Dogma or Minecraft right now. Well, I haven't played Dragon's Dogma, and I haven't played Minecraft in a long time, so I am probably not the best one for recommendations. There we go. Okay, so let me clear out the palette a bit so I can actually get at stuff. There we go. There we go. That is set. And then I just gotta drop some water in there. Perfect. Oh, so me also, like, having a real rough time, like, trying to not get hyper involved in other games while I'm trying to actually finish games. I decided to pick up Guilty Gear Strive and have been playing through the dojo missions on that. It's a fun game. I don't think I'm gonna be good enough to actually, like, compete in it, but the dojo missions have been really fun. It teaches you how to play the game, which is great because I'm terrible at fighting games. But it's been a really interesting play through so far, and good God, that game is just, the style is over the top, and I love it. I just realized something. Sony owns Crunchyroll. A Gravity Rush movie might be an anime movie. Now, see, that is a good thing, because that really falls in line with the art style of the game, too. So, hopefully, that ends up being the case. Like, honestly, like, as fun as a live-action Gravity Rush movie would be, I would much prefer having the anime art style kind of version, you know? Cat is basically just a 2.5D anime girl. Exactly. Yeah, yeah, I feel like if it's an anime movie like that, makes way more sense for the style to do it in. I hope that ends up being the case. Action scenes would be so watered down. In the case of what, if it was a live action? Wonder if they're going to follow through on game plot or make a different story. I imagine it'll be heavily based on GR1. I imagine they're probably going to go with GR1 for the plot, because live action would water down the action a ton, yeah. I imagine they're probably going to go with the first game's story because it's a good inroads to get you into it, because you're essentially learning about the world along with Kat. So, I feel like that's probably the proper path to go. Now, they could just make their own storyline for it, which could be good, could be bad. I don't know until we actually see it, kind of thing. See, my biggest worry with if they decide to go with doing it live action is not so much like watered down action, although that's a problem, or, you know, spotty CG, which would also be a pretty big likelihood for doing a live action Gravity Rush. My biggest worry about if they do the live action Gravity Rush is I was pretty well stoked for there being a live-action Cowboy Bebop adaptation, and then that came out, and it wasn't great. If they make it a live action, I think it will look silly. Just imagine the first scene, Gravity Rush 1, with Dusty flinging her around the place to trying to see. Yeah. I'm desperately hoping it's gonna be an animated film. Like I was saying, like I came into the Netflix live action Cowboy Bebop adaptation with an open mind. I was like, they went out of their way to hire or to cast, really good actors for the roles that they were going to be in, kind of thing. So there was that going for it, and I'm like, I really like Cowboy Bebop. This could be really cool to see live action. And then they just recycled a lot of the same Cowboy Bebop plots, but added in a bunch of padding. And ultimately, like, the characters were close, but not quite to what I was expecting for their translation from the anime to the live action, so, yeah. Plus, animations usually get better quality with lower budgets. Yeah. Just learn new ASCII art for threads on Twitter. Oh? Would you learn for new ASCII art? Twitch ruins it. Yeah. Well, if you share it out on Twitter, I'm sure I'll see it at some point. Scissors. Nice. I actually need to let this dry because it is a little too I'm trying to go over a layer before it actually dries. I need to actually just let it dry. But I think I'm probably done for streaming this tonight, because at this point, like, I'm waiting on stuff to dry. Like, the base is still too wet for me to actually go through and do dry brushing on it. So I think I'm gonna have to, like, do the dry brushing off stream, because this is just gonna take... That's the problem with doing washes, like, they're super wet, so it just... I gotta wait for everything to dry in the meantime. But ultimately, I think it came out pretty good for the stuff that we did get done tonight. So, like, if I zoom in... Like, that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. There we go. Like, the details came out pretty good on it. Overall, I'm pretty happy. Oops. Oh, God. I'm touching the base. Dang it. Hang on. Gotta fix the base real quick, and then I'm gonna call it on the stream. Touching the edge of the base, and I got all the paint off of this spot. Let me back up the zoom on this. It's me being a dope and deciding, oh, you know what, I'm gonna touch this thing while it's still drying. There we go. Why does it feel like you're using one of those projectors teachers in middle school use? They have a camera on them with a flashlight. It's because that's what I'm using. I'm using a document camera. Because I had a web camera, but the quality wasn't great. It had a set focus on it that wasn't adjustable. So the quality was just blurry on the model all the time. So the webcam had that issue, and setting everything up for the webcam to get it to aim down at the model was also not great. So there was like a bunch of stuff, and I was just like, all right, what do people use for doing miniature camera work kind of thing? So I looked around online, and the consensus was get a document camera. So I ended up looking up document cameras and found one that wasn't super expensive, but wasn't the cheapest one. And it's nice. It's USB-C on the back of it. It has HDMI in case I wanted to run it into a capture card or something like that, or just plug it into a TV. I don't know that I'll ever use that, but I have that option. And then on the camera arm itself, it's got like the thing for the light, so I can turn the light on and off. It's got different filters that I can put on. Cycling through. There we go. Back to the regular thing. It's like I got a bunch of filters I can do. I can rotate the camera. I've got buttons for zooming in and out, which is nice. I can adjust the exposure, which I've done because the initial exposure was actually a bit too bright for the thing. So it was really tough seeing the model when the light was on, kind of thing. But I dialed in the exposure pretty well. Oops, I'm actually going the wrong way. There we go. Plus the focus is adjustable and stuff like that. So overall, like, I have to agree with what it was online. Like, document camera was the way to go. That was a really good call. And like, you can actually see the detail when I hold up the model to the camera, which couldn't with the original webcam. Like, I just couldn't get the focus to work right on it. So yeah, the document camera ended up being the right way to go. So yes, I do kind of feel like a teacher, but it works really well for this. I am a believer in document cameras for doing miniature streams now. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it right here tonight, because we got that down to a good spot where I basically just need to wait for it to dry so I can do some very brief detail work on it. Like, literally the only thing that I need to do at this point is basically just do some dry brushing for like scratches and dust and stuff like that. So not a whole lot that is going to be done for doing the dry brush stuff, so I'm not feeling like I'm going to be having you miss out on a ton of really cool looking work. But the model itself is basically done. It's just the dry brushing that I need to do at this point. So I will finish that up off stream and do the clear coats. That way the model is safe to handle after that, and I can show you next time when we do another one of these Monday streams. And I think that'll look pretty good. And then I just gotta figure out what I gotta paint next. I've got like hundreds of these figures to go through, so. But yeah, I'm gonna call it there. That way I can go get some dinner in me and get a little bit of reading in before I go to bed tonight. So yeah, I hope you had a good time. It was good talking to you. Yeah, we'll be coming back again tomorrow for some Gravity Rush 2. And yeah, also be sure to hang around for the end of the Gravity Rush 2 stream tomorrow, because we'll be stopping about a half hour early just so that we can drop in on Lucky Bun's stream for the charity stream for trans empowerment projects, so that'll be a good time too. In the meantime, let's see if there's anyone that I can raid right now. Hang on a sec. Well, if you can't make it, that's totally fine. It's one of those things where it's like, I saw Lucky Bun was going to be doing a charity stream, and it's like, oh, I definitely need to drop in on that. He's always a joy to watch anyway, and it's one of the many charities that I support, so it's like, cool. But in the meantime, I am going to raid into Conrad Zimmerman's channel, seeing as he's streaming right now, so have some fun with that. In the VOD, just keep talking to me as if I'm there. Just respond out loud to myself. Oh, man. All right, so yeah, we're going to raid into Conrad's stream, so yeah. Hope you had a good time. I'll be looking forward to talking to you again soon. And yeah, hope you have a good night. Stay safe out there, okay? Bye.